Good morning and welcome to the video. Now today you find me in the sleepy little Suffolk village of Covehithe. That's just what I went through there. And I'll be honest, right now as I speak, I feel more like Rocky Balboa than I do my usual self. And that is because of the time. It's about 20 past 4. And yeah, I cannot actually believe I'm up at this time. And in fact, yeah, I've had a pretty rubbish night's sleep, I'm being honest. I was actually meant to be camping where I'm heading now, but instead I slept in the car, and I shall explain why a little bit later. But you're probably wondering why I've actually started this video. With a name like Dan Extreme Street View, why have I started on a road? Well, there is a reason, and I'll tell you what, when I come back to you in a minute, all shall become clear. I can see the sea. I tell you, it doesn't matter how old you get, it is always amazing the first time you clock the sea again, especially when it's been a while. But check out, the view's amazing out there, but what's even more amazing is this road. It quite literally comes to a dead end. I've never quite seen a road end like this. It's quite a destination, I'm sure you'd agree. But yeah, the reason why this ends the way it does is because of erosion, like I mentioned. So I'm not going to go any further for now. You can see where the path used to go. That's just way too near the edge of the cliff for me. So I'm going to take a safer route. We'll get round to the beach, and yeah, you'll see more of the village there. That sounds crazy me saying that, but it'll become clear when I get down there. Let's go for it. Well, here we go. That is not a bad view, is it? Finally made it to Covehithe Beach. It's a bit of a shame about the sunrise. That annoying bank of cloud in the distance, right on the horizon, was where you didn't want it. But it doesn't matter. You win some, you lose some. Still a beautiful, beautiful spot. And I must be honest, yeah, when I've read about this beach quite a few times, wanted to come for ages. And everybody that visited sort of said what a fantastically wild spot it was. To be honest, I found that hard to believe, being on the Suffolk coast. So when I think of Suffolk, I think of all of these, the seaside towns like Great Yarmouth, Longstaff, which is not too far from here. But yeah, this place, there's not a sign of, I mean, it helps that it's really, really early in the morning. It's a ridiculously early time. But there's no buildings, no sign of life at all, which is just what you want, really. So I'm going to explore the beach in a little while. I'm going to have a bit of breakfast first in a few minutes. But if I just show you here, to the north behind me, yeah, about 3 miles away is the little village of Kessingland, and a bit further on, England's most easterly point, which is Longstaff. I apologise for that ridiculous attempt at a East Anglian accent. That's as good as you're going to get, I'm afraid. And if I pan around, you'll see there, there's no buildings. You can't buy a coffee here, there's nothing like that. But to be honest, that's the sort of thing I'm after, and I'm sure many of you watching this as well, that's your idea of a great beach also. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can make it out behind me, but right off in the distance, about 2 miles away, is the sleepy little town of Southwold. Gorgeous little town. If you've never been, that's well worth the visit as well. You might just make out sort of the flashing lighthouse behind me. Not sure if you can or not. But I've been sitting here just for the last 15 minutes or so, just watching that. It's actually strangely peaceful. So there we go, there's a 360. So it's not too windy, so perfect conditions to get the old jet boil going. Get some food on the go. Once I fill my tummy, we'll then go and explore a bit of this beach, and I'll show you some of the highlights and some of the things that make this beach also pretty unusual. Well, just polishing off the breakfast of beans, sausages and cheesy bread. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? And normally that would be the perfect breakfast. But I tell you what, it's moments like this when I realise what an absolute wally I can be sometimes. Let me explain to you what I've just done. Big as belief. Well, yeah, not only did I plan to do the beans in the jet boil, but I also wanted to make a coffee because I've already been awake a couple of hours and it's still not even 6 o'clock. So I need some caffeine. And of course, a sensible person would have done the coffee first. You know, you've got a clean jet boil, boil the water up, pour the coffee, and then do the beans. But no, this one here does it the other way around. It wasn't until I was halfway through cooking the beans that I just realised what I'd done. So, yeah, rather than having a coffee bean sort of infused coffee, I'm going to instead have a baked bean infused coffee. That could be an interesting one. Oh, you live and learn, I suppose. The other thing I've realised as well is I've tried my best to keep the sand out of my food, but the bread, that was the grittiest piece of bread I think I've ever eaten. The only thing with the sandy beach, sand gets absolutely everywhere, and that includes food. So a sandwich on a beach is just that. It really is a sandwich. Anyway, enough bloody moaning from me. I'm going to finish the rest of this, and then what I'll do then is I'll get on and I'll show you the rest of these, these highlights that I keep talking to you about, and don't actually show you. Come back to you in a sec. Okay, so we'll start the tour of the beach just here. Mind you, I'm sure you're probably wondering to yourself or thinking, Dan, this doesn't really look much like a beach. And of course you'd be right. There's a reason why I've come up here to start off with though. And it's because, I don't know if I mentioned it at the start of the video, but I was actually planning to actually spend the night up here last night. I've had brought the hammock with me. The dream was there in my head. I thought, it's middle of June, lovely and warm, hottest day of the year forecast for, now today. So I knew it was going to be cold. It was going to be lovely and warm. The sound of the waves to help me drift off to sleep. It was that perfect sort of Robinson Crusoe scenario. On a beach, on a coastline, I'd have all to myself. Sounded absolutely amazing. And you can see, where I am now is literally 10 metres away from the cliff. An amazing view and the sound of those waves. And I had noticed on my map that there was a wood just behind the cliffs. And in fact, there it is. But as you can see, the one problem is the fact that the entire thing is fenced off. And actually there are signs all the way along saying, you can see it there, no camping, no barbecues. And there was a sign actually as I left the car and walked towards the beach, there was a sign saying that if you were caught, it was a £20,000 fine. You might think, my goodness me, that seems pretty, that's pretty mean. But the thing about this particular area of coastline is that it is actually part of a nature reserve called Ben Acre Broad Nature Reserve, I believe. I did see that on the map, but I didn't think there'd be a problem sort of camping up here. But seeing those signs, I'll be honest, it did put me off, and it just felt, I'd constantly be looking over my shoulder, and as I'm sure you can understand, I did not want to take the risk. And in fact, there you go, you can see the sign there, telling you that it's a conservation area. We've got to look after it. So yeah, the night was spent in the car. Not the greatest night's sleep, but I tell you, it's been worth it just to get up here this morning and have the place to myself. Absolutely lovely. But anyway, let's get down to the beach. That's why you're watching this video, I'm sure. So let's get down there and I shall show you about. So here we go, coming down off the cliff top. And I have noticed that sea is going out quite a way. The tide's going out, and you can see it is a pretty gently sloping beach because if it was deep, wouldn't be going off anywhere near as much as that. So it looks like it's pretty good for swimming. I'll have to see if I am brave enough to go in a bit later. But I tell you what, you come down this beach and the first thing you're greeted with are these trees. I did say there were many weird things down here, and this is the first one. These trees were once on the top of they were once on the cliff tops and part of that forest that I just showed you. But such is the rate of erosion on this coastline that they're now, a lot of things here are being lost to the sea. It's absolutely incredible. And I've got to say, for a geographer like myself, this stretch of coast is an absolute dream. It's incredible, isn't it? I tell you, if you were an artist as well, you would love it down here as well. There's so many great sort of opportunities for for your artwork. I tell you, let's go and have a bit more of an inspection of these cliffs, and we'll see why they're being eroded so quickly. And then we'll have a look at some of these trees as well. Yep, those are the remnants of the cliff tops you can see on the now on the beach. I think that is pretty good evidence showing you just sort of, I don't know, just how weak these cliffs actually are. I suppose the biggest issue is that these are just made of clay and really, really soft rock. I mean, I've already been up for a bit of an inspection and they're just so crumbly. I don't even get that close just because of how weak they actually are. But you can see all of the overhangs here. You know, the sea does come all the way in as well. But you can probably see it's, I'm not sure if you can see it there, just how crumbly this, even there, just running my hand against it. It's unbelievable. It's just such a weak cliff. And because of that, I mean, you might not find it hard to believe that, you know, this coastline actually retreats by, on average, about 5 meters a year. Did a bit of research and read that, and that's pretty shocking when you think about it. I mean, that's, what is that? That's about 17, 18 feet. And it even said that the village of Covehithe that we walked through at the start, there's a good chance that could be lost in the next 70 years. That entire village could be gone, which is pretty shocking, really. And yeah, the people that live there, you know, they're fighting to try and protect their homes. But I've also read as well that, you know, the local council have said that they're actually just going to leave this coastline alone, because if they try and protect this coastline, then the bigger towns further south, like Southwold, they'll be a bigger risk. So God knows what the owners of those houses are going to do. I just hope they've got decent insurance. But there we go. We're at the northern end of the beach here. It does continue going just all the way along as far as Kessingland. But yeah, I'm not really feeling up to that this morning. So I think we'll start here and we'll head on south. You can see it does flatten out for a bit going on. Let's keep heading south. See what we come up against next. Oh, I tell you, it doesn't get any better than this. It's only about 7:30 and it's really warming up already. I know I mentioned it's going to be they do say it's going to be the hottest day of the year today. Probably about 33, 34 degrees in London, which is, yeah, even for that part of the country, it's pretty toasty. It's always been cooler by the coast, but I tell you, it's got to be probably 21, 22 degrees already. Absolutely lovely. And there is nothing better than the feeling of, I don't know, sand underneath your bare feet. Just get your shoes off, let the feet breathe. Absolutely lovely. And I must say that I tried to make it look as comfortable as I could in that sea, but it was really shingly and pretty rough on the toes. You've almost got what looks like, in the tide, it's gone back quite a bit now, but it's left what looks like almost a path of sand, which, I tell you what, I'm alright with that. It's just really, really comfortable, and the sand's still really, really cool. Lovely. And I'll tell you one last thing, actually. I'm only about 200 metres away from something which, well, I tell you, it's pretty. I know I keep saying about how there's things here that shouldn't be here, but this really looks quite cool indeed. So let's go and investigate. Right, I have reached this unusual place I was talking about. So I'm going to see if you can work out what it is that I found by playing a game of I Spy. I've got to apologise, I am a school teacher and I was on a trip only 2 days ago, and my class, for the entire journey, that's what we played, I Spy. So it's kind of stuck in my head at the moment. So I Spy My Little Lie, something beginning with B. Any ideas? And no, it's not the beach. That would be way too obvious. How about if I move up a bit? Will that make it any easier? Aha! I wonder if you've got it now. It is, of course, building. It's just one of the strange things that I found. You can see now, I mean, at some stage this probably would have been somebody's home. It's now well and truly home of the North Sea. At some stage, it would have been up there. Absolutely amazing. Who knows how much longer it's going to sit there before it completely crumbles to the sea. So that is the first unusual thing we've seen. Now I'm going to show you something which I think is even more unusual. Here we go. I bet you've got no idea what to expect. But this is it. It is. Yeah, your eyes are not deceiving you. That is a World War II pillbox, I believe. Incredible. It's the last thing you'd expect to find on a beach. But yeah, a bit of readings told me that actually, yeah, this coastline was what was used a lot during World War II. And I guess, you know, with it being east-facing, it would have been used to watch out for the enemy. I mean, I don't know how long it's been sitting on the beach for, but the great thing about it is that it's in amazing condition and there's no graffiti on it at all. That's probably the thing I'm most impressed with, because that's kind of what you expect these days, sadly. But I think that just reflects this beach really, really well. It's a pristine beach. I've not seen one bit of rubbish the entire time I've been here. And that is amazing. You know, everywhere we go these days, it's really, really annoying, and it's quite depressing at times just seeing the rubbish people drop. So it's really refreshing to find somewhere so clean, so well cared for. Yeah, and you can tell that the locals that use this beach really respect it, want to keep it as amazing as it is. Can't say I blame them. So I've taken you as far as I planned to now. I've done a whole walk of the beach. The plan now, I think, you know, it's warming up. I'm going to chill out for a bit. I think I'm going to get some sun cream on, stop myself from burning. And these days, with my my hair rapidly falling out, I've got to do the top of the head as well. What a faff. And yeah, so chill for a bit. And who knows, if I get warm enough, I might even brave these waves as well. If I do, well, I'm going to have to include it in this video, I know, just to prove that I went in. Well, here we go. The top's come off. That can only mean one thing, and that is that I'm going to try and get in that big drink behind me. I'm sure you want to see me do it. You can't come to a beach on a day like today and not go in the sea. So I've dipped my toes in, feels pretty fresh. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be quickly in and then quickly out. But at least I can say I've been in. Right, moment of truth, let's do this. Oh, well, I finally warmed up after going for the swim. I tell you, it was nippy in there, but thoroughly enjoyed it. But I'm not sure if you can clock that person in the distance there, just heading off. I was having a chat to this guy just as I got out of the water. Local guy called Mick. He's only about 15 minutes away from this beach. Lucky guy. And he was telling me all about the history of this place. And the thing I found most amazing was the fact that he said that his nan used to deliver groceries to a farm 3/4 of a kilometre out there. I mean, I don't know about you, but I find that absolutely amazing, really. It's I know the place is being eroded quickly, but that just puts it into perspective. In one lifetime, the coastline has retreated nearly a kilometre. Amazing. But I reckon that is as good a place as any to finish this video. Hopefully I've shown what a special place Covehithe Beach is. And yeah, it makes you, if you're somebody fairly local to this place, definitely come and pay it a visit. It's well worth it. But once again, thanks ever so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like it and subscribe, because it won't be long before the feet get itchy and I'm off out again for another adventure. All that's left now is to follow the beach back and enjoy the rest of this sun. See you later, guys.